because there was nothing. We didn't even have Ataris yet, right? This was like, the games were, let me think. Like, this was before, like, Apple even really hit.
Right.
So it was like TRS-80s is what I was coding on. So you had letters and numbers and, like, blocks, and that was it. So I was excited to be able to go in there and just type in a couple things and see a freaking block pop out. And then to get them to actually spit a couple out, and then to move, and then to be able to hit a key and it would reflect or do a calculation. These kids, like, like, to them, I can see they just be like, you know what I mean? Like, that's where you start with coding, is you get something to happen.
So I think it's cool though. I don't know though. I think you're over. You know, you're over analyzing it, because we really don't. You can't make that assumption until you see it. But maybe we do with colors.
No.
How about screen colors?
No, we would take actual nice images, and you have them sitting there, and then you show him the piece of code, and you show him the image, and he can change a value, and it changes the whole image. He can hit a thing and flip it. He can hit a thing and it moves and animates. Like, I can see that being exciting, and that would be a real piece of code. Like, the actual chunks that make up the images and the animations and all that, they would be in another library. He would just see, like, the raw values, and he could see by changing it, would do things.
Right.
That's what's been in my mind this whole time, but then it's like you got to build that whole damn thing and make it work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we'd have to code that out.
Well, okay. I wonder if we could search.
You have to get them to interact with something and make changes and see things happen.
Right. And I'm sure that sorting code's been written out somewhere. Someone's got to have written that. I mean, you can't be the first guy on the fucking planet to, like, think that up.
I don't know. Because I'm thinking that based on what was exciting for me. I don't know what these people are thinking to teach computers.
Yeah, well, we need
to research it.
Well, yeah, I can do some time on that. Like another.
It might be out there. If not, I mean, it would take me a day. I could probably code a whole thing up. If you found, like, a bunch of images and stuff that you think would be interesting, you could code it in HTML, and that could be his introduction, is coding HTML.
Yeah, but see, I think the idea is okay. So we're approaching this from two different points of view. You're approaching it from a mechanic, right?
I want to see him actually change.
Yeah, right. You're a mechanic. You want to be a mechanic. But hear me out.
Coding is.
I know, but I'm approaching it as a. You have to have a. See, I'm looking at. You've got to have an idea of what you want to code. So it's kind of like we're trying to merge two things together. So I wonder if we could we not make this kind of like into a paper game, in the sense that, you know, if you change, so the idea is like we have the object, it has a thing, and then if I move this, if let's say there's a tag, we have the images there, right? And then we can have we have different code things, and you could actually write the code, really simple code, to represent that. This would be the code that represents this. And when I change, and then we have different ones, so I can swap out this piece of paper with this one, and then it changes. We swap out this one with this one, and instead of getting him on the computer initially, because he's 8 years old, let's kind of make a big, like, this is the code, and here is the thing, and then here's your choice, and then you act on this, and he plays. He's like, what happens if I switch this one and this one, right?
And then we type it in?
No. We're not even doing the computer first class. And then it changes those images there. So we kind of make the desk kind of like the coding platform, and say, okay, now, once you get this, I get this, I move this, I say, now you do it. So we do it, like I move this, you move that, right? And he kind of figures out the logic in his brain. So then he moves this, and he goes and changes that. And he starts to get that connection between, you know, the output and the input. And then once he has that, say, okay, now let's code this out. Your next, we're getting on. So once he starts recognizing that when he does this, the consequence is that. You don't see it, do you?
The reason I don't see it is because nothing's that simple in the there is no, I changed this and that.
It does. I change the value of the color, the value of the color number, whatever that value is. It changes the color of the output.
So this would be here. This is what I picture. You got this shape, right? We have this shape, and like your eye color thing would be like this, right? You would do use some crap variable thing. That's what will be on the paper.
Yeah. Yes. So eye color blue.
And then he'd have another piece of paper.
Right. Yes. So, and then we would actually, instead of, and he would, the cool thing is this, is that he can learn English too. Because he'll learn reading. He has to learn reading. Mikey can't read English yet. So this doubles as a class for him learning, in a way, we're teaching English. 2 hours of coding is actually, you got to learn coding. It's actually English and coding. So we're teaching him English, but we're teaching him English with coding, which is kind of cool. So he learns, this is I. So it'll be funny, he'll start writing with the underscore. You'll see him start writing English with the underscore to connect the values, right, on that. And then what he can do is he has that, and we have a marker, and he colors the blue on it to remember, because he's not going to, so he goes, oh, that's blue. So it's imprinting the word. This is where English language, he's not learning ba-la-u-e, blue. He's just seeing the word like kanji. He sees blue as a kanji, and he sees the thing. So he's looking at it as a grouping. It's like teaching English in a completely different way than I fucking learned English and you learned English. It's like we're teaching it the way a Japanese learns Japanese, where this group of images is blue, and without doing the whole phonetic bullshit, right? With the phonetic bullshit is not he can learn that also on that.
Well, it's weird because we're at a stage where when you look at words, though, you don't sound anything out. It's just instant.
Right. And they're imprint. That's what I realized. It's all imprint. It's called imprinting. So we can use the whole coding thing. We get pieces of paper. You can write them out. He can copy it. Okay, you write one. He can practice his writing, copying it, right? And we can make it a whole game here on the table.
So when we're done with the game, what is he gonna have?
Huh?
What is he gonna have at the end of the game? So he's structured this whole thing.
Yeah.
And then what's that going to end up being?
So we have blue eyes, green eyes. We have a face. So we just start with. So I'm thinking is we start with a face. We draw a big face, right? Just the outline of a head, right? And basically we pencil everything in. It look kind of penciled in, like nothing's written in code. It's penciled in. And it's okay. We're gonna do the eye colors. How do you make because he plays games. I was watching his favorite game that he flipped out on. Right? He spends more time selecting the face and the hair. He builds, he gets really into the tune, creating the tune. And that is kind of part of Dungeons and Dragons or anything. It's like we really get into when you want your tune to look cool, your character. I don't know why you call it tune, right? We used to call it character. Now they call it a tune.
The cartoon.
Yeah, tune. But it's character, your character. They want your character. I'm going to use character because I don't like tune. So I'm going to fight against these character, tune. This is one syllable verse 3, right? So the character, so he can now do it. It's, okay, what color do you want your character? This is coding. This is how it works. This is looking behind on the very simplistic side of things. So then he goes, right? So then he can write code. He's actually writing code on a piece of paper, right? Instead of writing on the screen. And then the next stage is just a matter of typing it in. Okay, now we're going to actually build it. And, and then you write up the program just to change, just to have an image there, and it just flips. Don't worry about the header, just the eyes. And then he can now go in and delete and put in green or whatever, and it changes the static image from eyes. It starts changing. He's going, holy shit, I'm writing code. He's going to be super, super psyched on that shit.
Think?
Fuck yeah, he will. He's going to be, I'm writing code. I got a coder teaching me code. I made eyes. I'll make a little video of him doing it. His first little video. I'm going to set up his little, learning code. Mikey, I'm going to teach you code. That's going to be his personality on YouTube. Right? So he's going to be the coder. The Japanese
Poor guy.
No, he wants it though. He wants to be a YouTube personality, man.
Yeah.
He's going to make more money than all of us. Fucking 8-year-old coding out. And he's going to do little lessons on how, right? And I'll videotape. I'll be we'll play the game. I'll videotape it and then we'll start a whole new channel. has a little fan base. I'll set up his YouTube, his Facebook, Learning Code with Mikey. Learning Code with Mikey. You didn't know I was recording, did you?